Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. We're getting people answers to their publicly posted questions on abo.com. This probably doesn't make a lot of sense to you because the question's right there and you can't see that and you don't know that. So that really makes that motion is useless and I shouldn't do that. All right, here's the question. Can I sue my work for discrimination if they made it clear they would make me miserable enough to quit? Maybe. I was EP'd from work for talking to the crisis line, and they called the police because I wasn't sure if I would be able to stay safe at home. I assume you might be talking about engaging in self-harm. I don't want to assume too much, but it seems like that's what you're saying. Work called me and told me I was not allowed on campus until I was cleared by my doctor. My doctor waited until I was stable before she said she would talk to them to allow me to go back to work. I had cut myself at work a couple times, and I did need medical attention, but I waited until I was off work to get anything more significant than a Band-Aid. I was hospitalized a few times, and per company policy, I had to wait 7 days quarantine after each visit. I assume the 7 days quarantine, that could be tied to COVID. I don't actually think that's a sufficient quarantine for COVID, but I'm not a doctor, so what do I know? I am on disability for my mental health disorder. They emailed my doctor and made it sound to both me and my doctor that they just needed a simple yes, she is fit to return to work. Then the HR person emailed her, I assume the doctor, this long email about how what I had done was making the other coworkers feel. I understand that it makes people feel uncomfortable, but instead of talking to me and trying to work it out, my doctor said she did not recommend going back to work because it was pretty obvious from the email that they were going to make it miserable and try to get me to quit or fire me or something else. Okay. So it sounds like you're on disability. I don't know what kind of disability you're on. It could be temporary, it could be permanent, it could be Social Security. Whatever kind of disability you're on, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to the rules for disability because some of them don't let you work. Some of them do let you work, but only a little bit. There's a whole bunch of things. Okay. So I can't answer those questions for you because I don't know what kind of disability you're on, and I'm not the best attorney to answer those questions. So if you have an attorney for your disability, speak to that attorney. If you don't, that's okay. There's lots of disability attorneys on this site. So tell them, get your information together for your disability benefits and speak to them. Back to the job. All right. So we're going to assume for the purposes of their question going forward that you're allowed to work under your disability or that you're going to be done with disability and you're going to go back to work, one or the other. So your doctor says straight up, you're fit for work. You're ready to go back. Okay. That's positive. Now, what you're describing here is that your job is saying, hey, everybody in this conversation agrees that you have a disability, right? You have a condition right now you're dealing with, a medical condition. But you're good to come back. They're saying, even though you're good to come back, it seems like they're saying they don't want you back. Well, that is going to be textbook disability discrimination, right? That is targeting someone for their disability. And as per the federal statute, that is certainly going to be a claim, a potential claim, right? Now, there could be additional claims on the state and local level that I'm not familiar with because I don't know what state you're in. And even if I did, I wouldn't be allowed to advise you as to the laws of that state. But I can advise you as to what goes on in the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission under the federal statutes, right? So, yes, it sounds like they're failing you. If they're indicating that they're going to drive you out or make you miserable or terminate you because of your disability, that is a potential claim, and it's probably time to speak to an employment attorney. I don't know exactly how they went about making you feel that way, and the specifics are going to matter, right? If your doctor is saying this because she is extrapolating from information that would not necessarily be clear over the course of a case, then your case might not be ready yet. But that's an issue of specifics that you'd need to get into during a long and lengthy and free consultation with an experienced employment attorney. So to answer your question, which is in the heading of your question, can I sue my work for discrimination if they made it clear they would make me miserable enough to quit? Well, I'll add a little bit to that. You can sue your employer for discrimination if they made it clear they would make you miserable enough to quit because you have a disability. And it sounds, from what I'm reading here, like that is why they did that to you, and that is what they intend to do, or at least what you believe they intend to do. So yes, you may be able to sue. You may have a potential claim. It would certainly be worth your time to speak to a local employment attorney right away. Good luck, and I'm glad to hear you're on the mend.